All right, Casey, why don't you lead us off on Four That We Adore?
Sure. So Hot Garbage was worst guitar solos ever.
Mm-hmm.
Four That We Adore this week is best guitar solos. And we've all picked some of our favorites here. And I'm going to start. I have a couple honorable mentions first before I get to my pick. The first one is Blue Sky. It's by the Allman Brothers.
Yep.
Dwayne Allman and Dickie Betts.
So classic, man.
It jams forever, and it's so beautiful, man.
This song has probably led to so many garage band jams.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, dude.
It's this beautiful, lyrical, amazing solo that I just I listened to it over and over and over. Another one I really love is Trey Anastasio from the band Fish on the song Heavy Things from the Farmhouse album. And another one, it jams on forever, and he takes you on a journey, man. Like rhythmically, it's so good, and like he just knows how to make it speak, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you just know. But my pick is a little different. It's not really a traditional guitar solo. It's more of like a rhythm guitar solo. But I'll let you be the judge. So the pick I chose is the guitar solo on the song Kiss by Prince. Check it out.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. I mean, you know what this solo kind of reminds me of? It's like 70s cop shows. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Prince is so influenced by like 70s funk, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's super short and sweet. It's not like the other ones I mentioned. Those are long.
Yeah.
It's like literally less than 30 seconds. This little clip even. Like that's how long it is.
And that's what I think makes Prince so interesting is he knows when to elongate a solo or make it short and sweet. And that's the real telltale sign of a musician, because when you go out into these long 10-minute guitar jams, it literally becomes like like some Paul Stitch method guitar or whatever. Some like dude who's dad rocking it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. And I think like what really about this particular solo is I'm just like, I want more. And he doesn't give it to me. And that's Prince.
Yeah.
That's what Prince does on so much of his music. He gives you this like short, sweet, amazing chunk of music. And you're just like, and then he just takes it away from you and never gives it back to you again, ever.
Yeah.
Fact. And then you're sitting there pressing repeat. You're seeking back like 30 seconds constantly. And that's what I do to this song. And I'm just like, man, that, for me, though, that's the mark of a true, amazing songwriter and musician, is someone who can do that, have that discipline to not want to overdo a great idea.
Yeah, right.
You know, like, and he's the master of it, man. It drives me nuts, but it's so good. So that's why this particular one sticks out to me, because it's short, it's sweet, it's a rhythm guitar solo, it's not a traditional lead solo, and it's Prince, man. He just, So
and it's
Jack,
just those 5 seconds that make you want to listen to it over and over and over
I know,
again.
man.
Yeah.
I know. So, Jack, you're, again, throwing it back to our resident guitarist, even though Hannah's not here today. But so I'm very interested to hear what your pick is for this.
So, yeah, I went through a lot of different thoughts. There's a lot of different aspects to guitar solos and what makes them so inspirational. And, here's a couple of things that I broke down, but this probably isn't even all encompassing enough.
Sure.
But innovation versus evolution, I did it first versus I made it better.
Yep.
Ears versus like technical knowledge. So whether like you're just hearing what you want to play or like actually knowing what you're playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have sloppy technique versus clean, because there's definitely an argument to be had in that. And then there's how much does it connect with an audience, which is another big factor that I don't think is considered enough when measuring guitar solos.
Yeah.
Is how much does it connect with the audience? Because really, that's when it comes down to it, that's what matters.
Yeah.
Like if the audience wants to listen to it because they love it, and they're gonna buy it too.
Yeah.
But if they love it and they want to listen to it because of that, that's the most.
And that's why
thing.
sloppy guitar solos can be great.
And they can connect with an audience.
Like Kurt Cobain wasn't the most technically gifted soloist on guitar, but didn't matter. And it
like
just,
everyone knows the Smells Like Teen Spirit solo.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Who's singing? I need that one. Yeah, I get that one for sure. So, okay. let's break down innovation versus evolution. I'll try to make this a little quick. So you have like Johnny Be Good, where the first kind of rock guitar solo, at least the most like well-known first rock guitar solo ever. And then you have like the evolution of that, you know, and this has continued since the 60s and 70s, but this is kind of the height of it. Jimi Hendrix is kind of like the evolution of that. You know, he brings more distorted guitar, different effects to guitar, and you know, changes it and molds it from what Chuck
plays
Berry
it left-handed and upside down.
Yeah, that too.
By the way,
another thing, which just makes him even more crazy. But you know, the thing is Jimi Hendrix probably learned a lot of guitar by listening with his ears. Yeah. Which is another...
And he played for Little Richard, by the way, before he was famous. I think I've mentioned that before, but yeah.
Yeah. Shotgun. If you look up Shotgun, I think it's Little Richard.
That's Junior Walker and the All-Stars.
Ah, okay.
But all like Tutti Frutti and all that stuff, like Jimi Hendrix is playing on a lot of that Little Richard stuff. That early stuff's great.
Yeah, man. He's such a fun guitarist to watch. And then, so like my example for ear players versus like technical knowledge, you have like Jimi Hendrix and John Mayer, I kind of would say, are like your ear guitar players.
You're modern guys, John Mayer, right? Like he's kind of the guy, right?
Yeah, for at least continuing kind of what Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix built.
Yeah,
you know?
Derek Trucks is not as much of a household name, but he's kind of up there.
Oh, he's up there too. I guess I forgot to include that.
Like, and I see him and John Mayer going back and forth doing some stuff together. And
well, when they play together, it's like, oh Jesus, man.
Honestly, I give an edge to Derek Trucks in terms of like ability.
Well, yes, but his reachability is not John Mayer's reachability.
Right, exactly.
Let me keep expanding on this. We have the technical player now because, you know, John Mayer and Jimmy, well, John Mayer does know a bit of what he's talking about, but he doesn't know like all the theory because he doesn't need to. He's so good. Same thing with Jimmy. But then you have technical knowledge, like people like John Petrucci from Dream Theater, you know, and then you could go down the whole Joe Satriani line and then, you know, what's his name?
Steve Vai.
Steve Vai is another one, of course, you know, Jason Becker, Marty Friedman, I believe. Yeah. All these technical guitar players that know like the scales and the notes that they're playing, but you know, it's not such a like melodic ear thing.
They're like clinician players. Like there's drummers like that too, where it's like, they're not really playing for the audience. They're playing for musicians.
Themselves. Yeah. Right.
You know, so.
Moving forward, we have sloppy versus clean. So that's like Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton. They're more towards the sloppy-ish. Like even Jimmy Page on like a lot of his really fast stuff, it gets sloppy, man. Huh? But the repeating riffs, I mean, Jimmy Page innovated that.
Yeah.
Then you have very clean players like Larry Carlton, Tom Schultz, Eddie Van Halen. Larry Carlton, he's like a session guitar player. He's played with Steely Dan. Steely Dan.
Steely Dan. Wow.
Many times. He's plays the solo on Kid Charlemagne. And then you also have Tom Schultz, who's the guitar player from Boston.
Yep.
And then Eddie Van Halen, of course, everyone knows who Eddie Van Halen is. And then my last thing is how much does it connect with an audience? Yeah. So, and this is where I fall on Jimi Hendrix yet again, because not only could Jimmy play with his ears, not only did he innovate, and not only could he also play sloppy and play clean, he kind of could switch between both. He also connected the most with the largest audience.
Oh, yeah.
And for the longest period of time. Yeah. Hence, my choice is Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix.
And your t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean. So, let's take a listen.
All right.
So that's the thing, man. It's like, how much does it connect with your audience? And Jimmy is amazing at connecting with his audience.
Absolutely.
And the thing about his guitar solo is we can sing it. You could sing it. You could sing it. I could sing it.
Yeah.
Making a guitar solo that's almost like a vocal melody is what actually makes a guitar solo really interesting. So John Mayer talks about that too.
Yeah, it's like making it lyrical, you know, like cantabile is the word they use a lot, where it's like singable, you know, it's like your instrumental line that's like, it's like a voice, right? And Jimmy's amazing at it, you know, and
and because he's connected with his guitar and people can connect with the human aspect of him doing that.
I think it's the mark of just a good guitarist in general. A lot of great guitarists do that. They think like melodically, they think lyrically, like someone singing. They make the guitar sing, like, that saying, right?
And then a little story arc too, or at least like
there's like a build up, and there's an apex, and then there's a release, to finish it. It's great when they can do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So speaking of great guitar players, let's go to Hannah now in her dorm room.
All right.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Hannah live from my dorm room this week. Woohoo! But yeah, for For That We Adore this week, I picked Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. Let's check it out.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Yeah, dude, classic song, right? Everyone knows it, everyone loves it. I picked this song because it's my 3 favorite guitar solos in one song. So, of course, it starts out with the main Carry On My Wayward Son riff, the ba-da-da-dow, ba-da-da-dow, everyone knows it. I think this is cool because it's nothing special, it's just like a minor pentatonic idea, but the way that he phrases it, the way that he uses his tone and his distortion really just makes this riff special. But right after he plays the main riff, he goes into this like 15-second solo around the 45-second mark to like the minute mark of the song. And he starts playing these faster little runs and getting creative, and he starts like bending high, and then all of a sudden he does the big triplets into the verse. And you're like, no, I want more guitar solo. Don't worry. We hit the 2-minute 45-second mark of the song, about there, and you get another solo. And this, he starts playing, so this is like the part where he goes, don't you cry no more, no! So now you're getting these faster licks again, where he kind of left off at the beginning of the song. And then he starts playing off beats to throw this like contrast. So he's like, and it makes my little musician heart happy, because you get this like fast runs that you're craving, and then he throws you for a loop and gives you this contrast to build with the solo. And you're like, this can't get any better. But it does. So then this little third movement of the solo is what I like to think of it. He starts playing on the beat again. So he goes, and he's like bending higher. So he goes, wow, 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 wow. And he keeps his distortion, but he adds this like wah effect to it. And you're just like, wow, because it's almost like a synth solo, but it's his guitar. And all of a sudden you're just like, yes, this is a great song for guitarists everywhere. And yeah, of course, I learned this when I was in like 8th grade and never forgotten it. So favorite guitar solo / solos. Love Kansas, love the song. Thanks, guys.
Wow, well, great details, Hannah. That was awesome. Like,
it's kind of
really
like asking me to do better.
Yeah, good coverage of a great song, great guitars, solo, and I mean, just like it's awesome.
Yeah,
so
thanks.
Good
again,
pick, Hannah. Let's throw it to Justin here. I'm very curious to hear what Justin has to say on this category.
Well, I was gonna pick Jimi like right away.
Sure,
but I'm like, Jack, do you wanna pick Jimi? So
well, I mean the tattoo,
Yeah, I mean,
I actually have a Jimi Hendrix quote tattooed on my here.
It's great. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Just
when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace.
Yes. Nice. It's a wonderful quote. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yeah. So I was thinking, like, my parents have influenced me in guitars very much. Mm-hmm. My dad, Angus Young, I've seen him in concert. That old man on his back, wonderful. It was
wearing
crazy.
The shorts,
wearing those shorts, that hat,
the white socks that are up high, the black shoes,
drinking chocolate milk right after.
And you know what? It's so funny that he's never changed his he still wears that same outfit on stage.
Same one.
Every concert.
He still moons people too, but he has underwear on. So
It's great.
And then my mom, she wanted me to mention Santana. is a wonderful pick. I mean, how can you go wrong with that?
Well, you can go wrong with Santana.
You can
Jacoby Shaddix.
Yeah. I had to mention it. Yeah.
But he's a legendary guitarist.
Legend. But what could be more legendary than all of this? Well, it is the Eagles.
Yeah.
Hotel California.
Yes. Yep. Yes. Let's listen to a little chunk of it.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I actually went to California in the car a lot when I was a kid. Listened to this a lot. So it's really a nostalgic pick. But when we were listening to this song, I haven't seen these guys jam out to one of my songs like that. So dude, this should have basically been an all pick.
Yes.
Yeah, it could have been.
What do you guys think of it?
I mean, I know every note of this solo, man. I've listened to it so many times because it is so perfect.
And
so
who is
beautiful.
it by? Who is it by?
Joe Walsh.
There's a few guitarists on it, but really it's Joe
7.
Walsh.
Yeah.
The identity of this solo is
Joe
just
Walsh.
Screams Joe Walsh.
Absolutely, it does.
It's got this mix of such a beautiful classic rock sound with a touch of twang.
And a little bit of bluesy.
A little bit of blues, and it's so lyrical, man. It's just like, it just sings to you. It's like another verse.
Well, that's what we talked about. It's like, if you can sing the guitar solo, then you know there's something that's being done that's right.
Yeah. This is a perfect guitar solo from first note to last note.
Yeah, Fact. Pretty much is. Yeah. It's perfectly genuine.
Yeah. And you know, I assumed we were doing like an all pick. That's why I didn't even want to go near this one, because this is like, you know, I have my picks, but then it's like, well, this one's like,
this is the holy grail.
This is like the holy grail of guitar solos.
Yeah.
So
right.
It doesn't really get much better, man. So
Not much.
Great pick, Justin. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So good.